Hello, today we're going to see how you did on your Pythagorean theorem converse practice. So first, on number 1, we want to see which of these have to be C. We always want the largest number to be C. The other two don't matter. Either one can be A or B. So I'm going to write my Pythagorean theorem, fill in my numbers. So 28 squared plus 45 squared equals 53 squared. 53 squared. And you know I type that into Desmos. I'll actually show you a couple of these. And then the others I will do off screen. So 28 squared plus, let's see what that second one was. 28 squared plus 45 squared gives you 2,809. 2,809. And let's see what 53 squared is. 53 squared gives you 2,809. 2,809. Since those are both the same, you should have answered yes. That forms a right triangle. Now for the rest of them, I'm not going to switch over to your Desmos, but please understand that that's how I got my answers. Take a look at number 2. So I have 4.5, 6, and 7.5. So that means 7.5 is my biggest number, so that has to be C. So I'm going to say A and B. Write your formula, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I said A is 4.5 squared plus, we said B is 6 squared equals C, or 7.5 squared. So first I'm going to do 4.5 squared plus 6 squared. So 56.25 is what I get for the left-hand side. And then I'm going to do 7.5 squared. When you do that, you also get 56.25. Since those two are the same, since they're equal to each other, yes, those three sides will create a right triangle. So now let's take a look at number 3. So on number 3, we have 20, 30, and 40. So the largest of those, which is 40, will be C, and the other two I'll make A and B. So first write your formula, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So 20 squared plus, we said B is 30 squared equals 40 squared. So again, I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to do 20 squared plus 30 squared, which is 1,300. And then I'm going to do 40 squared, which is 1,600. Now, those two are not equal to each other, so no, these do not form a right triangle. Give me just a second, guys, to see what's going on. There we go. Now that'll come down a little bit. All right, let's take a look at number 4. So on 4, I have 50, 48, and 14. Let's see if they make a right triangle or could form a right triangle. So my largest number, 50, will be C, and then I'm going to make the other two A and B. So write your formula, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. We said A is 48 squared plus B, which is 14 squared, equals C, which we said was 50 squared. So off to the side, I'm going to use my Desmos calculator, and I'm going to do 48 squared plus 14 squared. So I get 2,500 equals, and now I'm going to do 50 squared, or 50 times 50, which is also 2,500. Since the two sides are equal, that means the Pythagorean theorem is true here, so yes, those three sides could form a right triangle. Now let's take a look at number 5. Okay. On number 5, we have 1, 2, and 5. So clearly 5 is the biggest, so that has to be C. So I'm going to make 1A, B2. So write your formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We said a is 1 squared plus, we said b is 2 squared equals, we said c is 5 squared. So I'm going to do 1 squared plus 2 squared, which gives us 5. And then I'm going to do 5 squared, 5 times 5, which is 25. Is 5 equal to 25? No, it's not. That doesn't make the Pythagorean theorem true, so that means no, these three sides cannot form a right triangle. Now take a look at number 6. I have 25, 16, and 12. So 25 is my biggest number. That has to be my C or my hypotenuse. And I'm going to make A 16 and B 12. Write your formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A we said is 16 squared plus b we said is 12 squared equals 25 squared. So let's type that in our calculator and see if these are equal. So 16 squared plus 12 squared gives us 400. And then 25 squared gives us 625. Are those equal to each other? No. So that means those three sides, 12, 16, and 25, could not create a right triangle. Now let's look at number 7. Number 7 says, Tina built a triangular sign with these side lengths, 73, 55, and 4 feet. Is the sign a right triangle? Why or why not? So we have 73, 55, and 4. Those are our three numbers, 73, 55, and 4. So which of these has to be our C? 73. The other two are going to be my A and my B. So just like we've been doing, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So we're going to say 55 squared plus 4 squared equals 73 squared. I'm going to type that in my calculator. 55 squared plus 4 squared is 3,041. And then let's do 73 squared. And you get 5,329. So now let's use that to answer the question. Is the sign a triangle? No. Because 55 squared plus 4 squared does not equal 73 squared. That's why. It doesn't make the Pythagorean theorem true. And last but not least, let's look at problem 8. Is the triangle shown a right triangle? How do you know? So we're going to use what we've learned. We have 11, 13, and 21 feet. Which one has to be C? It's our longest one. So C is going to be 21. I'm going to make 11A and I'm going to make 13B. So now let's write our formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Let's plug in our numbers. 11 squared plus, we said B is 13 squared equals, and we said C is 21 squared. Now let's type it in our calculator to test it. So 11 squared plus 13 squared is 290. And then we're going to do 21 squared, which is 441. So let's answer the question. Is the triangle shown a right triangle? No. Why not? Because 11 squared plus 13 squared does not equal 21 squared. In other words, it doesn't satisfy or it doesn't make the Pythagorean theorem true. So make sure that you've checked your work, correct anything that was wrong, and I'll talk to you later.